Hey y'all, this is the collector on the corner's beautiful wife, Debbie, saying, oh, excuse me, hello from Arkansas.
When we did that before video we posted, that was done with a digital camera that you can't load to YouTube on. So what I did, I put it on the TV and Debbie took her tablet and did a video of it playing on the TV.
Yeah, so
and that was taken 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And what I did, I bought this old little D4 at auction, paid $750 for it. And the guy had died, hadn't run in several years. And I attempted to get it running up there at the auction. I couldn't get it to put any fuel out through the fuel pump. So I decided I'd haul it out of there. But where's that? It's a place the other side of Hardy, Arkansas, called 9 Mile Ridge. And to get in there, you got to cross the Spring River on this little narrow WPA built concrete bridge. It's deteriorating pretty bad. And then there's a little creek there with a low weight bridge on it. And it's a gravel road, and I wouldn't ask anybody to take a semi-truck that far down a gravel road. They lose one tire.
But
you
would have.
$500, yeah.
You would have.
But anyway, I wouldn't ask nobody to do nothing like that. So I come up with the bright idea, we'll take and winch it up on the tilt-top trailer and take this tractor right here with these old slick tires.
Uh-huh.
And we'll take this tractor and we'll go up there and we'll put it on the trailer with snatch blocks and come down that 9 miles road. It's called 9 Mile Ridge. Mm-hmm. And that's about 9 miles where we went. And when you get on down and you cross that WPA bridge, you turn into pavement and cross the railroad track, and then you come up a hill where that overlook was. Mm-hmm. And that overlook's within 1/8 of a mile of US Highway 63, just up from Highway 412. Busy traffic.
Yeah, busy.
I ain't about to get out there with a tractor pulling a bulldozer.
You were going to, and I talked you out of it.
Debbie said, no, you ain't gonna do that.
Yeah, I said,
but
nope,
anyway,
nope.
So we started down that gravel road. And that little dozer weighs about 13,000 pounds, and I blew out tires, which I had extra ones.
I know.
But it took us 2 days to get that from where it was at up to that overlook.
Yep.
2 days.
2 days.
Because we had to come home and fix more tires.
I know.
Anyway, so I get across railroad tracks and get on the pavement, and I think I've got it made. And I'm going down there, and there's a big steep hill right before you get that overlook. That overlook's up on a hill, and you can look over the valley down below. And I get up there, and I get within sight of, I can see that overlook where I'm wanting to pull in. And these back tires just went spinning on the pavement.
Yep.
And Debbie's following me in that old pickup. And the day before was the first time she'd ever drove that particular truck. That day there was the second day she'd ever drove it.
Uh-huh.
And she sees that I'm spinning out.
Uh-huh.
So she backs up and gets crossways the road because she don't want anybody coming up behind me.
Uh-huh.
So I put it in reverse, and I picked my spot, and I jackknifed it off the edge of the road.
Right.
And she drove up there in the pickup and said, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? I said, well, I got that 100-foot of cable. I'm gonna hook that cable to the front of this, and that'll put you over to the top of the ridge of the hill.
Uh-huh.
And I had about 2,000 or 3,000 pounds of junk in the back of that truck. Come-alongs and tools and flat tires and fixed tires and all kinds of stuff.
Uh-huh.
So I told her, I said, whatever you do, don't let that motor die. I said, I can take off from right here.
Uh-huh.
So I'm taking off in this M. And I'm in first gear.
Yes'm.
Wide open.
Yes'm.
And she takes off in that pickup truck, which is Granny 4-speed.
Wide open.
And she's got it. She ain't gonna let it die.
No, you told me.
She gets into that cable, and of course, with that old V8 in that pickup, she gets into that cable. She's going faster than that tractor will go, and she starts smoking that one rear back tire.
Uh-huh.
And that tire's a smoking.
Uh-huh.
And I'm a-going, and I get past that slick spot, and she pulls me on up there, and I get over, and I pull in that overlook, and she's got so much tar smoke in there, she can't see me back there. The people behind us can't see me. I can hardly see the front of this tractor for the tar smoke in there. And finally, she stopped spinning her tires. I pull this tractor over about 3 feet, and I unhook that cable. I'm rolling that cable up. I walk up, and she rolls down the window. She didn't much want to do this at all. And I throw that cable in the back of the truck, and she said, well, honey, how did I do? I said, you did wonderful. I said, that tractor's where we want, dozer's where we want to be. Nobody got killed. Nobody got hurt. Nothing went awry. And that one tar on the back was a pretty new tar, and she burnt that sucker almost down to the cord.
Well,
I told you don't let it die, and you did just. It's fine. It's fine. It's well worth price for tar.
excuse me, people, I've got the hiccups for some reason.
But the thing about it is, the scariest part, that wasn't scary.
No, that wasn't scary.
When you come down the hill to go to Spring River, that hill's just as steep as the one I sprung out on.
I know.
And I'm going down there with this 13,000 pound dozer pushing this OM in first gear.
I know.
And I'm on my brakes, but I don't want to lock my brakes up. I'm trying to slow it down. This old motor, it's overwinding. And it's got bad rings, and the vacuum's so bad, it's blowing all this blue smoke up in the air, you know, from that old motor being tired. And about halfway down that hill, there's a dang road grader out in the road. And I need the whole road.
Yes, you do.
And I'm standing up, waving at that guy to do something. Finally, he realizes I'm fixing to run into him. And he sucks that moldboard in, and he runs off into the bushes and briars on the side of the road, you know, cross the ditch and get out of my way. Because, I mean, he's coming up the hill, and I'm going down it. And I kind of didn't like that. And in retrospect, what I should have did at the top of that hill was unloaded that little bulldozer and put Debbie on the tractor. And I should have got on the bulldozer, and I could have used the bulldozer's brakes, and we could have went down that hill slowly and safely.
You know
and
what
then
else?
Reloaded again.
You know what else you could have done? You could have not bought it.
Well, I had to buy it. I mean,
No, you did not.
The D4, the good undercarriage, and nice
No,
little
you
dozer,
didn't
and I
need
already
to
had
buy
one
it.
that wasn't no good. You know, I need a second no good one. Anyway, so we parked this tractor in the overlook.
Yes'm.
And I go call Joe, and he said, I got all my trucks busy hauling fracking sand. And he said, every one of them busy. They're working 6 days a week. He said, the only time I can do it is after church on Sunday. So he had to go over to his driver's house and drop that gravel trailer, and then he had to go get in that little gooseneck and come up there, and then he had to go back and rehook all that and everything. And when he got it over here and everything, I ain't gonna ask nobody to do nothing for nothing. I said, Joe, what do I owe you? He said, $100. I said, $100? I can't do that. And he kind of looked at me. I opened my billfold up, and I gave him $300. I told him, I said, you cannot give away what you do for a living. And for all the trouble he had to go, you know, to and help me load that, I mean, $300 is a bargain in my book. I got a truck I could have hauled it on, but I can't afford the insurance. And, you know, if it was some back road place, I might have snuck up there and hauled it on my truck without no license insurance. But out there on that 412 highway.
And you were going to pull it on a tractor, and
anyway.
I told you, Bozo, no, you're not.
But now, the thing about it is, I don't know what's happened in the last decade or so, but everybody seemed to think that something's sitting somewhere they can just take it.
Yeah.
It's free, that nobody wants it. That bulldozer and this tractor both had air cleaner tops like this with a jar on. They stole both of them.
Yep.
They stole this off the bottom here. And they stole this pipe that run down to the carburetor.
I'm sorry, Saxon.
They sold all that, And there was one radial tire I'd put on that trailer that was almost new. I just put it on the day before. We crossed railroad tracks and had a blowout.
Yep.
And that's the last flat we had. I put that new tire on there. I hated to do it, but I put it on that rim. And somebody had tried to steal that tire. They took all the lug nuts loose and on it. And some of them they even took the lug nuts when they left. But I guess with all the weight of that bulldozer on that trailer, they didn't have a jack or something that could lift it up where they could get it off, or they just stole that tire. So I get the little bulldozer home, and I pull that side cover off that pump, and it's corroded up with rust. And this rust is, just surface rust kind of, but everything, the pumps are all stuck up, and the governor's jammed, the rack won't move back and forth, so nothing. I know about them old cat pumps. I took it all apart, cleaned it up real good, meticulously clean, put it all back together. I got it getting fuel a little bit, and then it wouldn't, and come to find out, them older cats like that right there, there's a guy called Squash.
Yep.
That does bulldozers up in Minnesota. He knows all about. I mean, he's an encyclopedia.
Oh, is he going to come by that?
No, he's an encyclopedia of D2s.
Am I going to sell it to him?
And what he told me, I asked him about it, and what he told me, he said that model there's got a fiber gear.
Fiber gear.
And he told me what cover to take off, how I could stick my finger around there and feel. And what it is, that pump being corroded up and hard to turn and all that, it stretched that fiber gear, and that fiber gear stripped out.
Oh,
so to get that thing running, I'm going to pull the blade off, pull the pump off, pull the radiator out, pull the front pulley off, pull the whole timing cover off, jack the motor up enough that I can get the timing cover loose and all that, and change that gear. Now, I've got...
And while you've got it all apart like that, we can haul it off to Shannon Salvage and sell it.
I've got 2 more of them engines like that. That's a 7J. I've got 2 more of them older 4 1/4 inch bore engines, and both of them are power units. And then I got another one that ain't a power unit, that's out of a road grader that the crankshaft went out of. So I got the parts to fix it. We're just getting the time, and I'm in the winter. I'm in the winter time of my life, and
you don't have time.
My time is running out.
Yes, I keep trying to tell you.
But anyway,
you're going to get rid of everything, and then me and you are going to go on vacation.
The undercarriage is real good on it. The sprockets is good. The bellows seals don't leak. There's no oil leaks around it. Steering clutches and all that seem to work good. The clutch seems to work good. The old pony motor ain't that great. The mag wouldn't work. I had to put a coil on it to get it to fire, but I got the pony motor running.
Okay.
But anyway, it's got the potential of being a good bulldozer.
For someone.
Yeah, but I may never get nothing done to it. But anyway,
and you know what's going to happen to it if you don't get nothing done to it?
Go sold for scrap or
that's
auction.
Right.
Come here. We'll walk up here and look at it a minute. I'm on.
Do 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 do. Do 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 do. I don't like stepping over. You know I don't. Because for one thing, I got my hands full of... Ouch! I broke my knee.
But if you look...
I'm not looking yet.
See these back sprockets? How good them are? them pins and bushings and tracks is real good.
Really?
And they's never been changed because the way you change these, you torch them off and you weld a new one on. See, that's the original sprocket. And look how dry it is. It's, you know, it's full of oil too. I checked all that. It's full of oil. But it's got really good undercarriage on it.
Poor thing. We need to do something about that.
I put this on there right there to keep that from rusting.
We need to do something about that.
See, I went ahead and just got some yellow paint and painted that. I need to come back and do it. That'll keep that cylinder from rusting. That.
I thought you put oil on it.
No, I wanted paint on it. Oil gets going. But somebody stole that air cleaner top off here. Anyway, the kids had took the can off. We got one grandson who's got autism, and he would take the cans off all the exhaust.
Oh, yeah.
And it rained in there, and I pulled that down so the water would run out of that.
Yeah, he said they don't
so
belong there.
what I had to commence to doing was putting a hose clamp on all these cans
So
where he couldn't get them off. But that hose there, you can tell it's probably needs replacing now.
Oh, man, it's past its prime.
Yeah. Well, it's a 1940. And I run the serial number on it through the computer, and from what I can determine, this was bought new and used by the U.S. Forest Service.
Wow.
And they never probably didn't use it very much.
Wow.
And whoever it was that built this, whoever built this tree pusher on here, look at here, Debbie.
That's my
like
welding.
Some little kid did them chicken scratch welds.
That's my welding. You quit making fun of my welding.
I guess it worked.
Yep, it's still on there.
But
it's got lockings.
Get back to the truck.
It's a Caterpillar.
The truck that she used to pull me over that hill. That's it.
I killed it that bad?
That's that truck.
What'd you do to it?
I sold it. It didn't have. It was dented, but didn't have no rust on it anywhere. And I started selling parts off of it.
And then this.
And I've sold everything except for the frame and the rear springs. I've sold the gas tank brackets. I sold the gas tank, the cab, the fenders, the hood. I sold every part off that truck.
Wow.
Except for the frame. It's a good
wow. Wow.
Now look here, another thing I'm going to have to do if I want to get this thing going. She'll be around here in a minute. She's slow.
Yes, I'm slow.
See the blade?
Why did you shoot it with a double-barreled shotgun?
What happened to that blade?
Oh, shoot the dog.
What happened to that blade?
Yeah?
That blade's hollow inside.
Why is it hollow?
Well, it's made with a front layer and a back layer. And what happened was rust got inside there and rusted it.
Wow.
It ain't did that from working.
Wow.
I wouldn't doubt, but that's probably the original
jumping
jellyfishes. New.
Jumping jellyfishes.
I don't believe old cats did a lot of work in life.
Cowabunga.
But, you know, it's one of them toys Randy had to buy. I was there, and it was there, and I had the money.
I don't get to buy toys.
You buy all kinds of toys.
What do I buy?
Little toys for the kids.
Those are mine. If it's Peppa Pig, it's mine.
Well, she buys toys. She goes to the flip store and buys toys.
And if I buy sheep and cows and chickens, those are mine.
Yeah, she buys a few toys. She don't buy big, expensive toys like Randy does.
Yes, I have never bought a $300 chicken or a $900 chicken to put in the yard.
But anyway, there it is. I went into here. There's a set of pumps right there, and a cam moves them up, and all them was stuck up. This governor, this rack that goes back and forth, it was stuck. And it did. When I got it off, it didn't even want to turn, and I think this being rusted up caused that fiber gear to strip.
Ah. Well, then you shouldn't have tried to start it when it wasn't.
Well, I didn't know that. I tried to get it running at the auction, you know, where it was at. And what I was going to do, I was going to walk it all the way out.
I know what you were going to do.
I was going to walk it out to the...
You was going to take the shortcut.
Well, I was going to walk it down there, and after you get down there, there's another gravel road that'll take you up to the 63 highway.
Sons.
I was going to walk it all the way out to the 63 highway if I could get it running.
Okie dokie pokey.
And yeah, I come out here and Grayson had pulled all the caps off, pulled this off, threw it over there somewhere, and it rained.
He likes
I'd been
driving it.
on the truck and it rained in it for a week.
He likes
I had to
driving
drain
it.
all that stuff out.
He likes
But
driving
anyway,
it.
but I don't know if the Forest Service built this little cab or what. And see that pulley right there?
Yeah.
And see that pulley right there?
Jeepers, I can't see for the sun. But
There's a pulley there.
Yes'm.
And there's one at the back of the cab. Here.
Yes'm.
Look.
Yes'm.
See that? Somebody's rigged up right there.
Uh-huh.
And they tell me what that was. That old man that had this would back up to a log.
Uh-huh.
And he had a cable, and he'd wrap cable around here.
Uh-huh.
He had a cable. And he'd run that cable over the top of there, over into the blade.
Uh-huh.
He'd raise the blade all the way up, hook that cable around the butt end of that log.
Uh-huh.
Then he'd lower that blade down to almost the ground, and he'd use this to skid logs.
God,
That's what he picked him up with.
he's got...
And now he had him a sawmill,
Yes'm.
and he sawed them logs up. Then he got a big old tanker and brought it in there, and he made himself a metal kiln, and he kiln dried all that lumber he sawed up. Then he planed all that lumber down, and he built himself a really beautiful house. I mean, most owner built houses, so, but this was really, I mean, he was a carpenter, a woodworker.
Okay.
Looking at the old 55.
Yeah, I'd rather look at this.
I kind of like the 55, 56 Chevys. Don't care for 57 much.
No, I don't like 56s. I like 55s and 66 Chevrolet pickups.
Yep,
That's what I like.
yep,
And Pontiacs.
yep. Yep.
I had
Lots
to
of Pontiacs.
I had to throw that in.
But anyway,
What are you anywaying about?
the only bad thing about these old cats
Is they cost too much
is
to
this
work
right
on.
here.
Oh,
See this big nut?
well,
you want tighten-
just right here. Here's the big nut. Look
Oh.
at me. There's a big nut.
Shine down there. I'm gonna teach people something. If you want to tighten the tracks up, you loosen these bolts right here.
Uh-huh.
Then you put a big wrench on this right here, and you can turn that. See them threads?
Uh-huh.
But what you do,
Yes'm.
you get your 30-foot pipe
Uh-huh.
and jump up and down on it and heat on it with a torch and do all that stuff, and none of that does any good. It don't move.
Uh-huh. So what do?
You take and you raise your blade all the way up. You stick that wrench underneath the blade,
Uh-huh.
put it on there and lower the blade down. Or you put the blade all the way down and put the wrench on top of this lift arm, and you
then
raise the
raise it
hydraulic
up.
blade up.
Jeepers. I thought maybe you just got a couple of big
Old man
friends.
showed me that with a cable dozer.
Who was that?
We needed to tighten the track. That was one-armed John Ellington.
I figured it was Mr. Ellington.
Anyway, needed to tighten the track up, and he said, loosen them bolts up. And he got that big wrench out. And I said, I'm gonna need a cheater pipe. He said, no, you don't need a cheater pipe. Start her up. I cranked that pony motor up, started that big engine, lowered that blade, is a cable rig, lowered that blade down, he put that wrench in there, raised the blade up till it got the track tight. The other side we had to drop the blade on it, but that old cable blade was heavy enough it'd do it down.
Okay.
But anyway, he had took and drilled a hole in that nut
Uh-huh.
on that D7
Uh-huh.
and put a grease alumite on it.
Oh, wow.
He
Right.
put grease alumite on it.
Okay, are you going to hold still while I put a grease alumine in you, Mr. Nut?
Tighten your nuts. But anyway, there's my coil I'd rigged up to make a distributor out of that mag. See that coil right there? That's how I managed to get it getting far.
Oh, goody. Goody.
I thought I knew all about these cats, but I didn't know about that fiber gear.
Okay.
I think it's squats 253. He is an expert. He's got D2s. He don't got D4s. And the reason he said he don't have any D4s is he can't haul them on his gooseneck trailer behind his pickup. He likes them little D2s because he can haul them.
Oh.
And I don't know how many of them he's got, but he's got several. And his daddy's got one. And, you know. Anyway.
Okie dokie pokey.
But he's up in Minnesota. He's probably
Minnesota.
got 4 foot of snow up there where he lives now.
Yes'm.
But anyway, that's the video for today.
Okay.
But that video was several years old, and so far I really ain't got to use this little cat.
You ain't used it at all.
I could imagine myself using this, you know. And,
I hear you driving it in your sleep.
oh yeah, I dreamed about it for a week, you know, after I got it.
Oh, Lord.
And now I said,
I told him to quit going to bed and dreaming about all that stuff because he's too tired in the morning.
Advice.
Yeah, you don't take
One
anybody's
time I worked
advice.
with this guy, he bought this D8. Fancy D8.
Fancy.
77V D8. D8K 77V, you know, hydraulic and power shift, and it was nice. Had over on road drives trying to push scrapers with it. And I was running road grader. And
What'd you do to it?
I didn't do nothing to it, but them boys, he'd quit pulling. Kept blowing that suction hose off, tearing it up. And he was telling about it, you know, saying what it was doing and all that. He'd bought it at auction. And he wasn't there, and one day I went by there and them boys was working on it. And I told them, I said, hey boys, I said, if you don't mind, I said, pull that belly pan off. I said, holler at me when you get the belly pan dropped down. They got it dropped down. I dropped, there's that rear belly pan. They dropped it down. I hooked the chain to the old road grader and pulled it out from under there. Went down to my pickup and got my wrenches, and I crawled in there, and there's a big old block. Bolts under that transmission that suction hose goes into. So I got some wrenches, and I took that out, and I got me a sharpshooter and dug me a trench where that oil had run out from under that dozer and back down the ground and back down in there where it came from. And I pulled that block off, and nothing came out. I mean, there's 55 gallons of hydraulic oil, 30 weight oil in there. So I reached up in there and went to jabbing around. That hole's about that big around. I could get my hand up in there. And I got a whole gallon bucket full. The oil started coming out finally of steering clutch material.
Ew.
Somebody went in that thing and put steering clutches in it and didn't clean inside the transmission.
Oh, dear.
And it was sucking all that stuff up in the filters and everything. And he come back by there. I showed him all that. He said, what do you do? I said, well, you put that hose back on there and fill clean fluid. I said, you take that to auction.
And sell it.
I said, you don't say a word about it. You don't even act like it belongs to you. And I said, let somebody else own it. I said, if you want to buy something like this, the way to buy it is rent it first. Rent it, and you can use it and find out if it's any good. If it ain't no good, you can tell them, I don't want it. Anyway, so then he did. He rented an older one that was a D8H with a ripper on it. And the guy wouldn't rent it to him unless he hired the operator that'd been running it since it was brand new. And this guy was 82 years old. He comes out there and he's running that D8, pushing earth movers and stuff and working out there and ripping rock and all that. He's 82 years old.
Wow.
And
I mean,
it
Jiminy Crickets.
It was in the spring. It wasn't too bad. When the weather began to get hotter and hotter and hotter, you know, he told me, he said, you know, I'm too old for this. He said, there's a reason you don't see real old people out here doing this. And the guy went ahead and bought the D8 H. But it was a good dozer. But anyway, I ain't told many stories in a while. I just thought I'd do a story time today. you know. And not everything I do is a success. And like Homer Simpson said, the road to failure, everybody that ever failed, they started out on that road to failure by trying in the first place. So trying sometimes is futile, but I'm still going to keep on trying.
Yes.
Debbie keeps on trying too.
Yes, I keep trying to.
Have an auction, sell it all.
Yes, have an auction, sell it all.
And you know, that wouldn't be a bad idea because most of it was bought at auction.
Uh-huh.
And I don't think I've ever showed this tire machine. That works.
That's a tar machine?
Yep. The reason it's rusty,
Yes,
it came from Hurricane Katrina.
you went all the way down to Louisiana to get this?
No, I went to Mississippi and got it. They give it to me.
And you'd never even...
It was going to get hauled off to the dump, and
Yeah,
they give it to me.
But you never even took me on a honeymoon or nothing like that.
And
but
that's
you'll
there.
but you'll go to Mississippi after a...
That there
Is another one.
is the Jim Beam tire machine.
Jim Beam.
I bought that at auction, $15, unloaded it right here.
Well, I can show you where to unload it. But
I've offered them to our oldest son,
Uh-huh.
and he wants them. I just ain't hauled them to him yet.
oh,
This one worked. I put air to it, and it worked. It needs cleaned
looks
up.
like it's growing some grass.
What Junior will do, he'll take it all apart, and anything that's bad, he'll put new parts on it and paint it. It'll look like put new decals.
Well, anyway, y'all, that's the end of this, and because Debbie's just gonna walk off and leave him, and if the bulldozer run, I might give him a squish. Does the bulldozer run?
No.
No, he's over here playing
Pony
in the.
motor run.
He's playing in the grease.
I was looking to see if I could see how many hours it's got on the hour meter, but I can't read it.
It's got 50 billion hours on it. Anyway, y'all, thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe and comment below. And Randy likes reading those comments and answering them, and I answering them when I get a chance. And sorry I had the hiccups earlier. Right now they seem to be gone.
One other thing I want to talk about.
No,
That truck right there.
the truck. Yeah,
That was Debbie's truck.
yeah. That's Indy.
And I was driving it and it started overheating.
Uh-huh. And you told me you fixed it, you big fat
Yeah,
liar. And we went to Jonesboro. When we got over to Jonesboro, it overheated.
Yeah, it
And
overheated.
I wanted to
What I did, I come in, I flushed it.
I wanted to hurt him.
I hooked
How's
my
that
machine
sound?
to it and I flushed the entire cooling
Uh-huh,
system.
you flushed his tire cooling system. And what
it
happened?
overheated.
And it overheated. Because
Anyway,
you didn't
but,
fix it. It needed a new radiator. You should have got me a new radiator. But
What it
you,
was,
you
see,
cheapo, you go,
Stuff I don't know about.
you take your money and spend it at auctions. You don't buy
Anyway.
nothing for me.
Anyway, got a V6 in it.
V6.
So I'm thinking it's got a bad head gasket or a cracked head.
Okay.
So I took that motor apart
And you took the motor apart,
and I couldn't find nothing wrong with it.
and you couldn't find nothing.
And I said, there's got to be something wrong. And I was thinking, well, where can I take them heads and have a magnaflux? Maybe the block's cracked and blah.
It was the
But I
radiator.
can't find nothing wrong.
It was the
And
radiator.
this little kid comes by here. Nah, I call him little kid. Teenager.
Uh-huh.
And I'm telling him about it.
Uh-huh.
And he says, you dummy. He said, all you needed was a new $75 radiator. He said, them aluminum radiators, he said, it don't matter what. He said, if it ever overheats, that radiator is clogged up on you. The aluminum gets sulfates and stuff in it from the antifreezes, even if you use what you're supposed to. He said, it don't matter. He said, you just buy a new radiator and put in it, it won't get hot no more. And I'm thinking, well, maybe he knows what he's talking about. Maybe he doesn't. Well, she had this 2000 Jeep Cherokee.
Yes.
Started doing the same thing.
Uh-huh.
Started getting hot.
Uh-huh.
So I get on the internet and I order a $75 radiator.
Mm-hmm.
We don't flush the cooling system, nothing. We just put that new radiator in and it runs cool.
Mm-hmm.
So if you got aluminum radiator and you have overheating problems, Thing to do, just buy a new radiator.
Yes.
Because you can't clean that aluminum out. It's got 2 plastic tanks on each side.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, there wasn't nothing wrong with that truck.
I know. And Randy killed Indy.
But then we got another truck,
You
and the
killed my
doors
Indy.
got took off of it, and taillights got took off
I know.
of it. And,
Did you sell them?
no, they're on the truck around front.
Did you pay me for them?
Nope.
Why not? That's my parts truck.
That's your truck out front.
Which one?
That blue one.
You give
traded your
you
Jeep
give it to me.
Zach for that truck.
So that's mine now.
Yeah, put it on Facebook and sell it. I don't care what you do. It's a good truck. Nothing wrong with it.
Jelly. Yeah, there is too. It's got a gas guzzler motor in it.
Yeah, it's got 350 motor, throttle body, and it uses quite a bit
Can
of
you
fuel.
put that motor in it?
Yeah, V6. It'd fit in there.
Will it suck gas too?
Well, that truck didn't get that good a gas mileage yet.
Well, then I need the motor out of Wilson. So sacrifice Wilson.
Yeah. That other truck I drive with that little 4.8,
Uh-huh.
it's got 389,900 miles on it.
Well, then it's got
on that
room
truck.
for a couple
It's got a good
100,000 more.
It's beat the.
No, the person who beat it to death
was already
was
pre-dented
you.
when I got it.
Not as bad as you did it.
Nope, I improved. I customized my crunch real good. We'll say goodbye and good luck to you. It's a pretty day, and me and her just having fun.
Yes, we're having fun, people. And I got to go hang out a load of laundry. So y'all have a great day. Be sure and like and subscribe and comment below and share and share and share. And share with your friends, your neighbors, your buddies, people you like, people you don't like. Just share and like and subscribe and comment below. And y'all have the bestest day ever. Because I think it's Wednesday. I think I'm right on my day today. Because, jeepers,
Tuesday.
Tuesday?
Yeah, yesterday was Monday.
Oh, jeepers, creepers. I never
She
know.
always never knows what day it
Well,
is.
I
And
go-
sometimes she'll get me convinced it's the day she says.
I go watch the kids on the weekend, so I guess when I get back, it's the wrong day. I don't know. But anyway, maybe it's old timers kicking in. But anyway, y'all have a great Tuesday, because Randy said it's Tuesday. So, and I have to believe him because I don't know. Thank y'all for watching and have a great day. Bye.